See, I've got a shitty connection, Joe.
Seems normal.
Okay, well, let's hope it lasts. It's been gone from 30 megabyte to 700 megabyte throughout the day. So having fun.
Is your VPN on or off?
Off.
There you go.
It's just fucked up.
Well, you're still on that. You're still on that legacy AT&T plan from like 1996, right?
I've got a fucking gigabyte, man. It's like fucking ridiculous.
Well, I could hear your voice fine, just the video breaking. I'm going to go off video too, just to try this. This might make it better for all of us.
Right, I'm gonna drop over to cellular.
All right.
Let's see if that helps.
Well, while you're troubleshooting on the fly, like Matt Damon in the Martian movie, when you're sciencing it over there, how was your weekend? I guess the science isn't working out. Yeah, well, audience, there you go. He's there.
All right, what brilliance were you sharing?
Oh, you remind me of like Matt Damon in that Martian movie when he has to science the shit out of it to survive. What was that movie? You're over there like in a survival situation.
Yeah, tell you what, dude, it's like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm running off my iPad.
Do you ever hook up? Well, I guess your problem is the Wi-Fi. A lot of times I have like the Wi-Fi going, the Wi-Fi calling going, the cell going, all of it at once, just to see, to keep it from breaking up as much. It seems to do okay.
Yeah,
most of the time.
It's getting there. Well.
So, any exciting developments around East Denver?
Too much, dude. Too fucking much. It's like I don't know how you're keeping up. I got so much incoming and outgoing and scheduling and fucking everything else going on. I can't keep my head on straight.
Well, I basically went through the calendar again yesterday and the day before just to make sure I had all the times right. The only thing I think I could potentially have wrong is the start time for the happy hours afterwards. But I'm pretty much good at figuring that shit out without a clock. So I figure we're good to go there.
Figure it out. I'm still not sure. I think half of them are scheduled Mountain Time and half of them are scheduled Eastern. I have no fucking clue.
Well, anything that came from my calendar, it's setting up on Eastern Time, but it'll adjust once I get there.
Yeah, but I know I had a couple come in where the time in the invite was Mountain Time, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Should I change this to fucking Eastern Time? Yeah,
that's what I did. And in the notes, I just put the correct time for when I'm there. It's like, so I'll go through it all once the first day there just to make sure I got all the schedules right. But there's a lot of cool events going on that I'm interested in. There's interesting stuff, a few, like 2 or 3 AI type, AR type things related to DeFi and metaverse that seem cool. Just in lots of the people there too, lots of different companies. So it should be a good time. I mean, it'll be a sprint, but definitely lots. We got the B&B chain, head of BD locked in. We've got a couple of other ones, European legal person that should lock in today. And a new gaming one that looks pretty cool about Soulbound. XP earning on Soulbound NFTs for governance purposes, DAO purposes, that kind of thing. Just some really, it's kind of funny. I guess this is where I'm really going, is that when, whenever we have Sean Day or BTC Friday, it just, and then the shit over the weekend that you got in the notes about, Gary Gensler and saying everything is security except Bitcoin. I didn't really know he was a Bitcoin maxi, which is kind of surprising to me. But the point is that everything we see when we look at like just BTC short and all of that, then I turn around and look at what's going on in East Denver and what's going on over here. I don't know
if it's my connection or yours, but you keep breaking.
I've got no VPN on, so I'm pretty sure it's yours. but I'll go slower.
Ugh.
And but what
Sorry,
I'm getting
go ahead.
at is that there's just so much real business activity going on in the non-BTC world. I'm not really focused on ETH, but other areas, but real protocols doing real things, and that's kind of what not just financial protocols. And to me, that's where I think if you're going to play in the non-BTC, it's yours, buddy, is what they're saying. Thanks, James. Thanks you for it. That there's so much excitement going on over here. I mean, just look at I don't want to jinx it, but you guys know one that I follow, and that shit's up 45x in the last 30 days. So, and that's a real life sciences business model. So, of course, I took some profits, but the point is, it's not all doom and gloom is where I'm getting to. And at least I don't see it. If you get past the inevitable Sean BTC going to 6 potentiality, not financial advice, for all the technical reasons, yet every time I turn around, to Shizzy's points, it just feels like there's activity, and I can't figure out is it that there's not a lack of activity on BTC, or is there? But everywhere else I look, I see activity, and I don't see doom and gloom. Yeah. So, I mean, do you feel the same way? I guess that's where I'm trying to get, because I feel really positive.
Totally feel the same way. I feel like people are like, fuck you, Gary, we're going to build anyway. So it's now, is he going to push everybody in the US out of the US? Yeah, probably. But I am so fired up with the shit that I'm seeing that I'm not stressing it at all.
Yeah. So, and to that point, Brad, that's the other kind of thing. If it does go out of the US, most of the cool stuff, well then, I mean, so be it. It still means that we're all going to be playing in that space. So I don't look at that as being I look at it as an opportunity now, because he's thrown a line out there, which is, everything. And now everybody counters. And, just the amount of volume I saw in some of those stories you put up, Brad, about, I think there's what did that one thing say? 81,000 lawsuits just got filed or something like that, or 815, I don't know.
Basically, the idea is that all 12,300 tokens that he implicated as illegal, either the SEC has to sue each one of them, or all of them can proactively potentially sue the SEC to force them to prove their case, right? I think he's usually pretty measured and careful about what he says. And it almost felt like in that interview, he stepped over his kind of normal, because his normal language is most are securities, some are potentially not, blah, blah, blah. And this time he just went all out. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I think he's going to stir up a fucking hornet's nest between Congress and tokens, potentially saying, well, fuck it. If you already think I'm illegal, I'm going to fight you in court. Right. Because what do you got to lose at that point, unless, they're willing to throw out settlements. But again, I think, I always go back to this thing that there are not that many attorneys at the fucking SEC. And I just read an article the other day that said that they're still being recruited away in droves to TradFi firms all over the place. Yeah. The most experienced and the best people at the SEC. So between that, if this industry inundates them with legal action, they're not going to have the resources to be effective. And they're going to try to settle, and everybody holds strong on not settling. Eventually there's going to be one of these weak ass attorneys that's left in the office who has to go up against it, and a judge is going to rule our way, and they're going to wish they hadn't opened up this can of worms. But we'll see. Who knows? Yeah.
I guess just the whole overwhelming thing is that I see so much real building going on, or wheedling going on, and it's very optimistic to me, regardless of all the near-term stuff that we see. However this next little shakeout happens, I think that, post that, in various, U.S. versus outside U.S., Bitcoin versus everything else, even like the Ripple lawsuit, again, all of that to me is just noise right now. That, there's real stuff coming out. It's not all hype.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've got a bunch of shit here, Joe.
Put up that one that a Homora or whatever the heck that one.
Hold on. Let me get this one up first, a little shilling. If I can get anything to fucking load. Fucking AT&T. Got a new episode of Mission DeFi out, and I really, Sean promised me he's going to take a listen to it this evening. By the way, Sean said he does not have to go after the projects. He kills them via the banks, the stables, and the exchanges. Job done. I think that's potentially part of the strategy, but we'll see what happens.
But that's also only in the U.S.
Correct. So. When you're looking at it through the eyes of the 4-year cycle, the bottom is in, and this is the year for accumulating for the next bull run. I think there's truth in that. I don't know. Anyway, shared this with Sean because I really am looking forward to hearing Sean's take on Cawley Network. Thank you. Shout out to listener and friend Sync, who's been connecting me up with some great interviews with some really cool projects in the space. But this is Cawley Network, which essentially promises the decentralization, the security, the trustlessness, the permissionlessness, the censorlessness of Bitcoin with the power and capability of Ethereum and 100,000 transactions per second, using really innovative kind of merge mining structure, sharding, and multiple chains within the chain. So the only thing I can think of is there will be a Cawley gas token, but I'm really curious to hear Sean's take on this, and we're potentially going to have Sean on a show with Dr. K, the founder of Cawley Network. So we'll see what happens, but we're gonna be meeting up with these guys out in Denver as well, and we'll see. But I'm fascinated by what they're building. I couldn't help, one of the things that I always think about is throughout my career in tech, the number of projects that were far superior technologically to what existed or to their competitors and never really gained significant traction for what they had. And so it all comes down to now, once the tech is out the door, this will be, by the way, radically decentralized. There will be no upgrades. There will be nothing. It will be out, and it will be out. And he said to me in the interview, he hopes nothing is changed by the time he dies. And he doesn't think it will because he can't. It's really kind of taking this whole promise of how Bitcoin functions and what it brings to the market is theoretically what they're saying, with much better performance and the power and capability of smart contracts. So we'll see what happens. But interesting interview. I'd encourage everyone to listen and then go to the Telegram, t.me/Mission DeFi. I've posted a link to the tweet there, but please discuss it. If you enjoy the episode, please go give it a retweet and make sure you give it a thumbs up when you're watching or listening to it. So, anyway.
You're here.
Who else was? Go ahead.
Who else was talking about a protocol and just launching it out into the wild, not being able to change it recently? We had somebody on the show
last month. That's Liquidity.
Okay.
I mean, Liquidity is radically decentralized. There's about 10 projects right now that are out there, radically decentralized. Can't be touched. Can't be.
Was the X7 guys? Were they saying something like that?
No. I don't think so.
No, what's no? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Found a cool tool, daylight.xyz. We're going to meet with the founder of this project, Joe, out in Denver. But the Bankless boys have a competing product, but they charge, I think it's like $350, $400 a year subscription fee. Essentially, the idea behind this is you connect your wallets to it, and it'll tell you every airdrop, NFT mint, anything that your wallet's entitled to based on your past actions. And they've built an incentivized network that if you know of airdrops that they don't yet have in the system, you can submit it and get some kind of rewards for submitting it to to Daylight, but it works beautifully. I added 6 wallets to it, found a bunch of NFTs and a couple of small airdrops that I hadn't taken advantage of yet. So it's daylight.xyz. I'll put it in the show notes so you can click on it later. But really cool tool and kind of undercuts completely. Bankless acquired a company that does this. But they're charging a subscription model for it. Their model is they are not charging the end user, but projects that want to get to users of the platform are able to pay to send messages through or offer offerings to end users based on their profile.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a really smart model. It's a superior business model. And, it's a good way for, one of the biggest problems for protocols from a marketing perspective is reaching new users, right? And you try to do that by doing partnerships, et cetera, but there's not really been a true powerful marketing vehicle. This really provides a great marketing vehicle, and it's a much smarter structure for the business because users now don't have to pay to be utilizing this thing, can get access to everything that they're missing from their wallet. And you put the onus on the treasuries of the protocols that want to do the messaging and reach out to users of a particular profile. So anyway, works great, cool tool. The only negative to it, I will say, is when you connect a wallet, they require an email address. So I use a throwaway catch-all that I use all the time for it, but that I have forwarded to my inbox. Because you get updates based on the schedule you set about new things that come up for your wallet that you maybe didn't know about.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, that looks really interesting. And you found some value there when you hooked up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to get to that other story, but evidently Solana had to reboot again this weekend.
What?
So.
Yeah. I mean, look, I guess, whatever. I mean, I don't even know what to say.
Can we put a fucking nail in it already? I know we have people that listen that love Solana, but I've been wrong a lot in my life, so I could be wrong with this declaration I'm going to make now, but I don't think so. Anybody that deploys on Solana or thinks that enterprises of the real world is going to come and deploy on Solana with the number of structural problems they've had, to me, is delusional. I think put a fucking nail in it. Let's put this coffin in the ground, please.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but how do you, I mean, a lot of people love it for the NFTs, and I heard about some decentralized media stuff going on over there, soon to be going on.
The mapping app just moved to Solana. What is it? The
Honey, the one that Shivy turned us into?
Yeah.
Hive Mapper.
To Solana. Hive Mapper.
The Honey token.
Just moved over to Solana.
Well, I guess everybody will be able to hang out in their cars when they're out mapping down in the empty Wynwood Solana headquarters, right?
Yeah, and they'll just be waiting for Solana to reboot so they can upload their data.
Yeah, but also they could, it could be like an Uber hub too. Could have an Uber hub.
That's it.
And in maybe like wrong state, but I was thinking other things too.
We'll get you a driver shortly, but we have to reboot the blockchain.
Hold on, dude. Do you want a systems architect or would you like a front end designer as your driver? It's like, just give me the comfort one, dude. That's all I want. Give me the comfort.
I mean, I don't know, man. I feel bad for all the people who have invested time, energy, work, code, blood, sweat, and tears in that chain. But I also, and you can hear it in my interview with Dr. K, evidently Solana did a deal with Samsung to integrate with Samsung devices. And Solana was going to be the payments chain for Samsung devices. And Samsung started the work, assigned a team, and realized that technologically it was a fucking nightmare and it couldn't be counted on, and bailed on the deal.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, boys and girls. When big enterprises do their diligence, Solana's not going to be on the map.
Maybe this is, I mean, this could be, we could put XBT on, or Sean on this, since it's kind of DeFi. How do you short DeFi chains?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Niblet says, Joe asks a good question. What activity has ever happened on BTC? Well, I mean, look, there are payments that happen on Bitcoin. People like Sean live their whole life paying for shit from Bitcoin. So that's happening. Lightning is happening. It's growing. Not rapidly, because nothing happens rapidly on Bitcoin, but it's growing. So Chuck says, this lawyer flight has plenty of precedent. Most of the Gibraltar FSC went into private practice after setting up the government crypto regs as the obvious experts. Yeah, that makes sense. What were you going to say, Joe?
Between, after like Sovereign and Stacks, what else was going on over there on the BTC side? I mean, of course, the NFT project that was going on, but
yeah, that's true. You got Stacks, right? You got Ordinals. Yeah, no, I mean, look, Stacks has a ton of activity going on. They're not slowing down, and they have a ton of money. So that's a big one. Sovereign has struggled because they're more of a grassroots platform, and they had an exploit on their new lending protocol a few weeks ago. So I think they're a little bit more hamstrung because they just didn't have the big money coming in to start. But
yeah. I mean, the other thing though is, and you and I have talked about this on the show, off the show, all over the place, was it? I mean, so we have again full confirmation that BTC is not a security. So it seems to me that, again, BTC DeFi plays, but if you're doing things now with BTC in yield generating platforms or lending platforms or whatever, you're operating with something that's not a security out of the gate.
But I would bet anything that the SEC will say Stacks, projects on Stacks, projects on Sovereign, and potentially projects with a token on Lightning. Now that the Taro stuff's out for stables and et cetera, they would probably classify them in the same group as everybody else.
Probably. Yeah.
So you'd have to do it like, I mean, it's like what I tweeted last week. Do you really need a fucking token? Right. The only reason Blur took over from OpenSea is kind of this wash trading token manipulation shit. It wasn't necessarily because it was a far superior OpenSea. It wasn't because it was a far superior product. It just, there was money to be gained and made. But how many projects actually really need a token? Frankly, if I was launching a project, I would think twice about that and look at a better revenue model.
You just reminded me of something. The group I worked for back in, I guess it was early 19, Pocket Full of Quarters. It's got a no action letter from the SEC that says it's not a token and it's not BTC.
Right.
Okay. So right there, Gensler is incorrect, because I know of at least 2 no action letters that were sent out that said that certain tokens were actually utility tokens and not securities.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, there's so many ways that, by the way, Weeks, give me a buzz. Let me know what I do with those tokens. Okay. But the point is that, it's easy to draw lines in the sand and say everything is this or everything is that. But, to the point you've made numerous times, if everybody litigates this now, then we'll actually get some type of clarity, because right out of the gate, I can name 2 non-BTC tokens that are not securities, according to the SEC.
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Niblet says Solana seems to be the Windows 3.11 of crypto. Dude, Windows 3.11 was far more stable than Solana. I got to tell you. But yeah, I get it. I agree. Euphoric says NFTs are keeping Sol alive. Shizzy says the big NFT project, De Gods, Solana's biggest, just left for Polygon Matic. I know a project or two that are also leaving Solana. Sol went up 4.6% during the outage. Humans are strange animals, says Sean. Yeah, that's true. Sean said, like that, short contracts for yield. Must have been something we were discussing
About
earlier.
shorting Solana, probably.
Oh, maybe. Niblet says, I meant entrepreneurial / business building on Bitcoin like we see elsewhere. I got you. Okay. Sean says Niblet's payments networks like Lightning have 1,400 active projects on them, but no tokens, so shitcoiners don't see it happening. That's a really valid point.
Yeah.
Chuck says BTC not being a security is like saying dollars are not a security, but hedge funds and mutual funds are. So are any BTC DeFi plays? Ugh, stupid phone keyboard DeFi plays. So basically he's saying that he's saying what we were saying, DeFi plays on Bitcoin, like stack shit.
Would be interesting. Yeah.
Sean says Chuck, payments is more a part of DeFi than yield generation. Niblet says, Sean, then I think I'm missing out. All right. A lively conversation. What was this Homora story you sent over? I didn't even look at it.
It's another platform. It came from.
We've looked at it before. I just don't remember.
Have we? Yeah. Well, I saw, because you've been focusing on yields, and I saw like the lending stuff, the third bar down.
Here's the first.
Here's
the first clue that that you got to be nervous about the company, the group behind it. What
Venture DAO?
No. I can't see a fucking thing on their homepage without connecting my wallet.
Yeah, well, Alpha Venture Studio DAO has like, it's an incubator / venture fund, the portfolio of companies. So they're probably really trying to toe the line right in the US market. So when you look at hedge funds, you go to their front page, usually there's a logo and a big legal disclaimer, and you got to click something to even go beyond it. You can't see anything. So I don't really. Fund? Well, click in there, and I don't know if it's a hedge fund, but it's a venture fund that's basically incubating companies. I'm just saying that when you have the money, you don't necessarily always have to have all of the sell pieces to get the user experience marketing pieces to get people to click in. People are coming there for a different reason. But to your point, I get your point though. But I don't look at it as a bit
of information. If you're not trying to attract users, then fine. That's that's all good. But I can't get anything to work on their website. Huh. Oh, let's try this now.
I got in there. Okay, there you are. You're in. And I also was thinking about Sean and his exploration of yield farming and things like that. This is on Ethereum, so you don't have to bridge anywhere else.
Okay. Look,
so look at the lend
I understand
pool.
If they were I understand if they were doing it to protect themselves legally, but there was no disclaimer there, right? So from my perspective, it's one of my gripes, so I'm going to gripe a second.
Go ahead.
Don't expect fucking people to do the work of connecting their wallet before you tell them why the fuck they should connect their wallet. I mean, this is just common sense, people. You're trying to attract customers. You're trying to attract users. Don't fucking give me a blank page with connect your wallet to see what the fuck we have. Thank you. I'm done. Sorry.
Fair enough. I'm not on the design team there, but what I liked was
their design is beautiful.
If you look at look at like the land, and God, your computer is slow as shit today. Yeah. If you hit the lend tab, see right below yield farming, left-hand menu. No. Left. There you go.
That's where I am.
Now I see it.
That's nice. Where's the APY 4.85, 8.47.
Now somebody that we know was been talking about this a bit the last month or so on another channel I'm in. It was the first time I really looked, because I haven't been looking for this kind of stuff lately myself. But then I'm like, wow, this is looking pretty good. And this
nice.
This was, it was well, I don't want to say the name, but so I have to recommend that people check it out. The person who referred it to me is very, very credible.
Is this some of our Doki friends or?
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. I know who you're talking about.
The head honcho guy, not the one who worked there. I mean, the biggest investor there.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's in this other channel that I'm in, And he doesn't really say much. A lot of those people are big time into NFTs, and they're always talking about NFT floors and this and that. But then he popped this one in there about because everybody was looking for some yield percentage. And I thought it was pretty cool, but there were a few other things. Click that app thing up in the top right corner.
Okay.
And I'll show you. They've got a couple of NFT plays in the middle, Alpha Buy Wall and Alpha Provably Rare. And then if you click Venture DAO at the bottom, you can sort of see what the venture setup is. If you go one more down, yeah, click that one.
Yeah, it won't let me click.
Oh.
I wonder if it's my connection instead of.
I think it is your connection, buddy. But yeah, you open that up, it shows all the stuff they're in. They got 3 or 4 products and a couple of portfolio companies. But it's an interesting model. It's a model similar to a lot of the things that we've done in the past. It's got a little consulting, it's got a little investment, it's got some incubation, it's early stage tech.
That's cool.
So a decent amount of TVL. I think what I see 82 million or something, but
yeah,
definitely they got a token called Alpha, which I haven't even looked at to be honest, but definitely one worth checking out. I haven't done anything there yet other than connect a wallet and look and see what it was, but
yeah, for some reason
in the spirit of something that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, no, it's great. Let's check it out. That's awesome.
Oh, dude, it's all those Pornhub windows you got to open up there. I can see like about 20 of them.
I'm trying to close them as fast as I can, but I just don't want to close my favorites.
Yeah, I know. Plus, you got to check in on your employees, right?
Yeah. Hey, Beefy, I posted it in the Telegram, but Beefy launched Canto Farms automation. So Note USDC, Note Canto. What else? There was something else. I don't know why I'm not seeing them all. Maybe they filled up. But anyway, yeah, this is not everything. Don't know why I'm not seeing them all.
Also, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but Gene or Genome's DAO is now over on Arbitrum as well on Camelot.
What is?
Genome's DAO is now over on Camelot on Arbitrum. And I think the yields were like 60%, like Gene ETH and Genome ETH. I don't know how correlated they are, but
so
be careful.
Yeah. I moved over my Note Canto pairs. I added in a couple of more, and I actually jumped into this ETH Canto pair. 314% on 2 tokens I want to stake. I'm going to stack.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, little impermanent loss. It's less painful when on either side of it, I'm going to get the tokens I want. You know what I mean? So if it's lopsided,
in one of them,
I don't care.
In one of them is a stable, right?
Well, no, this is ETH Canto. No, this is
I just said Note Canto. I'm sorry.
No.
Note Canto. My bad.
I also have Note Canto in here, but I moved all my Note Canto LP over to here. But this is ETH Canto, and it's kind of like, well, even if there's impermanent loss, I want to stack both of these tokens. So if it's a little lopsided over time, well, fuck it. So I put a little bit in there as well.
Yeah, and also think about it. This might be a little bit, if I remember right, and I haven't done this in a while, these liquidity pools like this, but if ETH somehow dropped because of Shanghai upgrade releases or anything like that, then you would end up with a shitload more Canto.
Exactly.
So that's kind of got a little hedge built into it too, which is neat.
Yeah. It's kind of like a weird hedge because I like them both, right? So I figure, what the fuck? If one's a loser for a few months, I'm going to stack more of the other one. So what the fuck? So Niblet said Adam at 400% is great. Yeah, it's at 412.39%. Again, not financial advice. These could all collapse. They could all suck. Canto could fail. There could be a lot of impermanent loss here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, I'm making the bet. I'm not putting more than I can afford to lose in here. I'm stacking Canto. I'm always happy to stack ETH. I really feel like I got nothing to lose to optimize through Beefy and automate my yield farming. So, what the fuck? Even Note USDT, so that's stable to stable. Note USDC at 231%.
That's cool.
Yeah. Note USDT is 11. Note USDC is 10. Now, to be fair, Note is not technically a pegged stablecoin, but it is meant to algorithmically hang around $1. So you could have an impermanent loss there, but at 231%, hello.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because even if that, like, again, depegs and goes into shitter, you're going to end up with a shitload more USDC at that point. And you can just come back in and buy it back at the bottom if you believe in it still. Yeah.
Exactly. I judged the Canto hackathon yesterday. 50 projects altogether. I helped two of the devs narrow down the field to 20. It was fantastic. Some really cool game projects that I'm excited about, games that I would play. So kind of one that's a strategy risk kind of game, some other role-playing games, some cute, fun NFT battle games, just cool shit, all with some really nice graphical aesthetics, some really cool shit, and then some really great platform plays. So this one is called Turnstile Finance. This one makes use of, again, connect your wallet, but the target market for this is developers building on the platform taking CSR. So CSR is contract secured revenue. The idea behind it is you get a cut of all the gas fees that come from deploying your protocol on the platform. And this is a platform that takes advantage of that and allows these protocols to borrow against future revenue, which we've talked about, based on the revenue that they've had coming in previously. They're launching a launch pad to fund businesses. So almost a capital advance on what you think they might make in the longer term. So new startups can come in, raise money, and then the users will get a cut of their revenue coming from the CSR that goes to their NFT. So there were lots of good projects. I was really excited. I encourage everybody to go watch the video on Canto Public on YouTube. And you can check out the Canto Public at Canto Public, or the Canto COH Hackathon Twitter feed to see the projects. But I'm just really impressed with the level of skill and development and originality coming out of a lot of this shit. So really, really fired up for that. What else, Joe? What else we got? I got a ton of shit. That was the Solana guys.
Well, I'm going to say third time's a charm.
Capital flows returned to positive. 30-day crypto capital flows returned to positive levels for the first time in 9 months. Inflows into crypto. I don't know if that's a sign of anything, but that's good news, right?
How much was it positive? $3 or $3 trillion?
I think it was like maybe $1.12. No, three.
I think I see 300 billion. Speaking of 2023, crypto market caps increased 36%. Yeah, more than 300 billion re-entering the space since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, increased by 36%. Yeah, okay. So,
that's good.
It's a positive sign. It's a positive sign, Joe.
Heck yeah.
Richard Hart, his followers are losing faith. His Pulse Chain and PulseX face delays.
Senior Hex.
I'm sorry. If you're investing in this fucker, you don't. Nobody deserves to lose their money.
So look, right. Brad, you always talk about like things, like if somebody says connect wallet. Well, I'm going to give another indicator. If someone's running around in a Louis Vuitton onesie, it's probably a good move to just pass. Okay?
Stay the fuck away. That should be your filter. That should be the filter. Look, you should tweet that, Joe. New rule. Louis, if the founder's running around in a Louis Vuitton onesie, get the fuck out. Run. Don't walk. Run the fuck away.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people buy into it because of the cult personality angle. But if you're going to do that, make sure you always remember that shit ends somewhere along the way. So make sure you're out early.
I can't imagine what would be taking them so long, seeing as how they're trying to fork all of Ethereum and all of Ethereum's protocols onto a chain with nobody to manage the fucking protocols. What could be the problem, Richard?
I mean, he's probably smarter than Elon Musk, right? So he could probably handle all that himself.
Yeah.
That's a tongue-in-cheek statement there.
Yes, I know. He's a fucking genius. He's a fucking genius
Yeah.
at well, I don't need a lawsuit right now.
No. I think it's just that community's pretty rabid, so you don't want them camped out.
I'll get Sean on to say what we think of him on Friday because he doesn't care.
Yeah, some TA on Hex.
Diblet
A lot of
says,
people were. Go ahead. Sorry.
Teletubbies starting a coin is time to get out. Yeah, definitely. Sean said, geez, canceling my plans for my own shitcoin if that LV strategy is now dead. Well, you were going to launch it on, I think you were going to launch it on Solana, weren't you?
It was a Hex fork over on Solana, right?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm sure the boys at the pub would love that, Sean.
Yeah. Only
your LV onesie
of Ethereum supply is staked as investors await Shanghai upgrade. That number seems really small to me, but
me too. With all the fear of supposedly this unlock and people dumping, and then you realize, well, 86% is already out and dumpable. I don't know if that Shanghai upgrade's a dumping event at this point now.
Nah, I don't. And why do you dump? If you like ETH enough to stack it up and fucking stake it, why wouldn't you keep taking 3, 4, 5, 6%? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Whatever. Frax, I think we talked about this last week, but I couldn't remember, so I posted it up anyway. Frax has voted to fully collateralize its stablecoin. So $1 billion will be fully collateralized. No more algorithmic Frax.
I think it's look, regulatory environment, U.S.
Yep.
I mean, it's a very smart move.
Totally doxed U.S. founder.
Yeah, you want to get rid of that hybrid one and just go fully collateralized.
I've had some conversations. Yeah, with him too. Yeah, I've had some conversations this week with some other soon-to-be launched projects that are changing how they frame what they're launching.
Interesting.
Because of regulatory. And I get it. I get it. I get it.
Hey, are they going to be at ETH? Is he going to be at ETH Denver?
Yes. I have a message into him. Getting his attention is kind of tough, but
yeah, well, you should be at the top of the list.
Yeah, we've had some good interviews. I don't know, open that.
With that special birthday present you gave him.
Okay, can somebody call this fucking teenager up and tell him to tell his mother to go slap him upside the head, please, please. So this guy wins the Yuga Labs fucking video game competition, whatever it is related to their NFTs, right? And somebody offered him, one of the VCs offered him $1.1 million for see that key he won? That's the key he won. Somebody offered him 1.1 million for it. I guess that's like 600 and something ETH. And then somebody else offered him 999 ETH. And he is, he's turning them down. He's asking for double that.
Well, I mean, if they're making the first offer, you really kind of have, no matter how much it terrifies you, you have to counter somewhat.
Yeah, counter somewhat. I get it. But, dude, how long do you think that thing's going to hold 1.1 million in value?
Well, that's true. I'm thinking of the context of this one deal that I was around in Tyson's Corner years ago. And it was I don't want to say what the project was, but it was Yahoo was buying and they were selling, and Yahoo came in and offered them like $2 billion out of the gate. And they didn't have hardly anything. And they were like, no. Push back, and everybody, all their friends were like, "Are you fucking crazy?" Well, Yahoo came back like 2 weeks later, and I think paid $4 billion or something. But this was in .com days, so I think sometimes you have to, but that's a company. That's not an, I think that was just an NFT only, right? The Dookie thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
look, even the most valuable NFT in the world, right? With their floor price of $153,000, Yuga Labs, Bored Ape Yacht Club. Where are we today? and we come out of this in a bull market, is that value of that fucking key going to suddenly fucking soar up? Maybe, maybe, but I don't know. I'm a teenager. I got a bird in the fucking hand. I can invest it in some shit
I
that
think
will
I
actually
take.
compound and make me money. Give me 1.5 and let's fucking get this done.
But I think, look, the first bids were like 600. I think you said 600 ETH or something like that, and then the last one was like 999 ETH. I gotta think I'm taking that one. I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'll take that price, but you owe me one.
Well, hey, how about this? One of them was a DAO that voted to make the offer, and they collect NFTs. So what do you say? Oh, you know what? I'll take either give me 1.75 or give me 1.25 and these 2 valuable NFTs.
Yeah, or give me the 999 and throw in one of those Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're a kid, I mean, by that I mean, under 30. He looked like he was in his teens, maybe.
Yeah.
That you're set then. I mean,
it's not that money. Fucking A. Euphoric says only bank holders were dropped sewer passes to play the game, and the person with the highest score gets the most rarest of the new mints. So you're saying that you get access to a new mint with the key? Is that what the whole idea is? That's why people want it from him? I guess that's what he means. I don't know.
Yeah. So you get to
maybe he's smarter than me. I don't know, man. Right now in this market.
Well, no, or you could say, I'll tell you what, I'll sell you 40% of that NFT for 650 ETH. But I still control it and the voting rights. And then go use that money to go do all the minting, with that priority pass. And then you could then have it also say, but I get the right to buy it back at any time for 3 times the value of your purchase. An option on my side. So, once you get to where you've minted up enough, then you buy them back and roll from there, or you exit at that point completely.
That's good. That's good. Hey, Joe, I have a hard stop at 1 today, so let me run through a couple of.
Go for it.
If there's anything else news-wise I want to hit before I run through a few yields that I lowered up. We talked about Gensler. Oh, Playboy's launching a metaverse called the Meta Mansion.
That's right. I mean, is that not just a brilliant play?
And they're going to NFT their models. So
yeah, I could see the. Well, never mind. I won't go too far down that sordid path. But look,
were you going to say hole? What? Rabbit hole? Were you going to say rabbit hole in context of Playboy metaverse?
No, I was more thinking about different attributes that you could put on those NFTs of the models.
Oh, yes, I see that. I
yeah, like favorite.
Let's definitely not go there, but I'm hoping you got my pun.
Oh, yeah, I did get that, 100.
Playboy, bunny, rabbit.
But look, it's the ultimate. Look, we knew what drove.com. It was porn. I mean, that's what got everybody on the internet.
Porn is the reason we have the infrastructure that supports every fucking thing that has happened on the internet.
Right. I mean, because you throw a bunch of dudes on computers.
YouTube owes everything to porn infrastructure.
Yeah. I mean, a bunch of dudes, computers, and porn. I mean, how do you... I don't know. That's really 70% of the OG. But the point is, now you put it in metaverse world where you have, AR, all the simulation stuff you could do, different things with the NFTs, merchandising. I mean, it kind of really takes it full circle, I guess, without, trying to come up with a clever pun. To me, I think that's just going to boom.
Yep. Real quick, DeFi Llama launched a page. I posted in the Telegram channel, a delta neutral long short strategy page where they outline what you can make by taking the strategy. Unfortunately, there's not a single one that doesn't require you to be using Binance for the shorts.
Oh, wow.
So you US folks are fucked. Everybody else in the world, you can go play if you want to, but it's still a really cool thing. Like long ST ETH, short ETH on Lido will get you a 10.6 gain APY. So anyway, I'm going to post links to all of these in the Telegram channel. I won't be posting yield links in the show notes. So if you want the yield links I'm about to run through here real fast, you should join the Telegram channel at t.me/mission DeFi, because that's where the links will be pasted into the channel. DAI Ethereum pair, 7.64% APY. BLUSD, which is the chicken bonds from Liquidity project, is paying at 7.19% BLUSD. So that gives you LUSD based on the bonding. FXS, which is Frax's governance token, and FRX ETH is currently paying 19.33%. Now, what gets real interesting about this one is if the algorithm is coming out of the picture on Frax, what does that do to FXS? I don't know the answer to that question because I haven't done the work to research it, but it's pretty interesting. Anyway, this one's paying 19.33% on that pair. DAI over on Angle on the Ethereum blockchain paying 6.75% for staking DAI. Just DAI, no pair. Frax over at StakeDAO is paying 9.25%. OP paying 20.08% for staking it. I'm sorry, was that a pair? OP USDC paying 20.08%. ETH by itself, single staking, paying 17%. USDC with Lira paying 22.89%. WETH USDC paying 27.6%. I like that one. WETH standalone paying 32.17%. WETH standalone paying 26% on Ethereum. This one I like. WBNB paired with stablecoin ZRG is paying 457.23%.
Wow.
Now this one is fucking nuts, and I haven't looked at it because I don't believe it's real. USDT USDC pair on Arbitrum supposedly paying 79.7%. I'm betting that one is going to rug really fucking soon, so probably wouldn't touch it.
And also, but only 33,000 in that TVL, so it might be brand new. Possibly.
That's true. Maybe you can get in there and get out quick if you're willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
Frax paying, so a stable coin paying 9.25%, now currently a completely collateralized stable coin. And another Frax pair paying, another Frax stake paying 9.35%. So I'll put those in the Mission DeFi Lunch Telegram under yield after I post the show. And if that's where if you want to see those yields and how we're getting them, that's where you got to go. So don't forget to join t.me/Mission DeFi. I got to wrap it up, Joe.
Let's do it to it.
All right, buddy. Everybody, thank you so much. Euphoric, Niblets, Sean, Chuck, Shizzy, and James. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. We appreciate you participating. We love and appreciate everybody that's listening or watching. While you're listening on your favorite podcast app, please journey on over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Rate, review us, subscribe. Make sure everybody knows how much you enjoy listening. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you smash the thumbs up. Joe can't show us because he's not on camera, but he would like you to smash this. I think this is how he does it.
There you go.
This is the official.
Yeah, you got to pound it harder, though. You got to pound it harder.
We're off the Playboy Mansion. And make sure you click the little bell and subscribe so you get notified of the newest issues, but help boost us in the algorithm. We appreciate you. We love you guys. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. There will be no show on Wednesday. I will be flying.
Yeah.
So I think you might be as well. But,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good call.
Monday, Tuesday, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. So everybody have a great day. Joe, I hope you have a great afternoon.
Thanks, buddy. You too. And I hope AT&T comes through for you later on.
Yeah, me too. That'd be nice.
And thanks, everyone, for listening. Always a good time. I'll be back showing my lovely face tomorrow. I just wanted to work within Brad's technology limitations. So not being shy over here.
See you later, man.